Well, good evening again to our E3 families. Welcome to E3. My name is Dr. Ward. I am your CEO and principal. Hopefully you read a little bit about me, know a little bit about me. Um, if not, I'll do a very fast overview. Um, I've been in education for about a long time, over 25 years. Before that, I was a software engineer for NASA Jet Propulsion Lab. And then I became a math teacher in the Los Angeles Unified School District, a vice principal in Long Beach, and then a principal, 1 year as a vice principal, 2 years as a principal in Pasadena, actually, and then back to Long Beach as a principal for 4 more years, and then a supervisor of schools in the Long Beach Unified School District. Moved up north and started coaching principals in Northern California through the West Contra Costa area and Stockton. Then moved to San Diego, all because of my husband's job, not because I wanted to move around. But he was the uh, state appointed superintendent in Compton, then Oakland, then the superintendent for the San Diego County Office of Education for 11 years. So that's how I ended up in San Diego. Um, and I spent most of that time as a professor at San Diego State. Then I came to E3 while still at State. And then I'm still at State now, but my primary job and role is here at E3. And in the meantime, I spent a lot of time doing work with China and the Chinese educational system, and then research around 21st century education, which is why I actually came to E3, because I was very interested in 21st century education and developing a system that fit that model. So, and I have 2 kids and a husband. Yes. Two kids who are in an IB program. They're not here because they are Spanish and Mandarin speakers, and so they have to continue with their track. They started it in preschool and kindergarten, so they just continue with that program. Otherwise, they would be here. Okay, so welcome again. Ms. Couperus, would you like to share a little bit about yourself, please?
Sure, I am. Sorry, I'm answering chat, so I'm doing all kinds of stuff. But I am Miss Strenning. Some people know me as Miss Couperus. I changed my name last year due to a marriage, so you can call me either. If you know me as Miss Couperus, feel free. I'm one of the college and career counselors, and Miss Colon is in the Spanish presentation, and she just let me know that there's a password for that, so I'm going to put that into the chat as well, and we're going to work on that. If you're looking for the Spanish presentation, please just send me a message, and I'll make sure you get there. But Ms. Colon and I are really excited to welcome you to E3 Civic High. We've been working on your schedules, and those will be getting out to you soon, so we'll talk a lot more about that later.
All right, thank you. Mr. Russell, would you like to say a few words?
Sure. Hi, good afternoon, everyone. My name is Mr. Russell. I manage most of the technology and kind of student information systems at E3. So if your scholar has any computer problems or problems with their email, they will be reaching out to us at the Genius Bar, and it'll either be myself or Miss Area, our other IT person who will assist your scholar.
And Mr. Russell, how long have you been with E3?
I've been with E3 for 6 years, since 2015.
All right, and I came right after Mr. Russell in the middle of the year, so I'm 5.5. Ms. Couperus, Ms. Strenning came the following half year, so she's 4 years in. All right, and the school is 7 years old. We're in our 8th year now. Okay, Mr. Dean Bowden.
Hi, everybody. Good evening. My name is Mr. Bowden. I am the Dean of Scholar Support and Attendance. So my first priority is to make sure everybody feels welcome here at E3, whether it be virtually or in person. And I want to make sure everybody develops a strong sense of belonging. And of course, as my title suggests, I'm here to provide support for all of our scholars and encourage a high degree of attendance. So I'm actually at E3. I'm not in the president's office, as my background may indicate. And I look forward to meeting everybody, whether it be in person or virtually throughout the school year.
Okay. And You did tell us how long you've been here, and you're currently working on your doctorate at San Diego State as well.
I did not. So sorry. This is my 5th year here. Ms. Strenning, myself, and Ms. Cologne all started at the same time. And I am currently enrolled in San Diego State University in the Educational Leadership Program to obtain my doctorate. So I'm attending school as well. I think a great thing about our organization is that we are all learners, the staff and the scholars alike.
Great, thank you. And Mr. Smith. Mr. Smith? Have I lost Mr. Smith?
It appears his volume's not working.
Hello, hello.
There you go.
Okay.
Okay. My name is Mr. Smith. I've been with E3 Civic High for about 6 years. I'm a licensed marriage and family therapist, providing mental health support for all the scholars and the staff within the school. I'm not pursuing any doctorate at this point, but education is always good. As far as the social emotional learning, we can all learn as much as we can in order to be our best selves. And that's the support I'll provide for all the scholars while they're here at the school, and as well as the families.
All right, thank you, Mr. Smith. Did I miss anyone from the E3 staff, our E3 family of staff members? Okay, I think I got everybody. Again, welcome. This evening, we're gonna look at, we always start with our mission and vision, so we're gonna start there. We'll look at the daily schedule and logistics, answer any questions that you might have. We will be sending home the calendar, so we'll just look at some important dates from that. Professional attire, we're going to touch on that. Attendance, which is the most important thing. We'll talk about that. Zoom norms, because we're all on Zoom these days. So we'll hit on that. And then parent portal, how you can access your kiddos' information. Some back to school shopping list items, although we will be providing lots of supplies, and we'll have a day within the next couple of weeks when we'll ask you to come pick up your kiddos' supplies. The E3 website, academics, we'll talk a little bit about that, grade level courses, schedule changes, how to go about changing your schedules, tips to success, and then the 9th grade learning facilitators, and a little bit about our next parent think tank. So the mission and vision. So the mission and vision of E3 Civic High is to engage. We don't believe that we can educate unless we engage. And this year we're focusing on voice, scholar voice, making sure that they have most of the time on the stage, so to speak, and scholar choice, so that we do a lot more in terms of bringing what they would like into the curriculum. Obviously still hitting all of our standards, but wanting to ensure that we give our kiddos more of an opportunity to select what they can in terms of hitting our curriculum, okay, and how we go about that. So for example, if we're studying the Great Depression, then you can look at the Great Depression in a pluralistic view from the experiences of all of our ethnic groups that are in the United States or were in the United States at that time, as an example. Okay, so engage by voice and choice. And then once you engage, you can educate. And once you're educated, then you can be empowered to change the world. And as I told the kids this morning, we exist so that we can produce individuals or help individuals, nurture them to be those who can change the world, who have the skill set, the courage, and the mindset to make the world a better place. And that is how we empower. So the mission and vision of E3 Civic High is to engage, to educate, and empower our learning community to be passionate, caring, lifelong learners prepared for college, workforce, and life. And we don't believe in just preparing for college, because college is not the end goal. It's a means to an end. So you go to college to become something, to do something. You go to college if you want to become a doctor. You go to college to become a lawyer or whatever it might be, but it's not the end goal. It's a means to the end. So that's why we say we prepare them for college, workforce, and life. and that the life part is to be good citizens and people in the society, right? And then of course, this is an ever-changing environment. So that is the mission of E3 Civic High. Okay, we're going to move on to daily schedules and logistics. And please, if you have any questions, please drop them into the chat, and then we'll try to respond to those as we're moving through. Okay, do we have any current questions, Ms. Strenny?
Not currently. Do you want to hit the present button so the
Oh, thank you
screen
so
shows
much.
up
Ms.
here?
Strenny.
You're
Thank you.
welcome. But yeah, if you do have any questions, feel free to chat. I will try to answer them as I go, and we can also talk about them at the end.
Okay, so daily logistics, daily schedule, and logistics. Ms. Strenny, you want to talk a little bit about this one?
Yeah, sure. So this is our virtual learning schedule. This will be sent out to everybody via email. So basically the day starts at 8:30 a.m. Monday through Thursday. And we will end at about 3:25 p.m. And then we'll have office hours and tutoring right after that. So just a couple things to note is Mondays and Wednesdays are A days. And Tuesdays and Thursdays are B days. And you'll see that on your schedule once you receive it, that you might have a 1A, that's biology, and you might have a 1B, that's PE. So that's what you'd go on Mondays and Wednesdays to the A days, and Tuesdays and Thursdays to the B days. We do have 4 modules a day, and then we have something that we call advisory, which is a great opportunity for you to have your cohort of scholars to work on different social emotional things, have a lot of restorative circles. You're going to be doing a lot of achieve and test prep and some college prep. So it's a really cool time of day for you to get started on that. And then Fridays, we have school from 9 a.m. to 2:30. We have E-Block, which is an elective. And we have PEL. If you see PEL on Fridays and Wednesdays, that's more of a personalized learning time. So what Ms. Colon and I do is we look at your grades, every single progress report, and if we see you need a little bit more support in, say, English or math, we make that time available to you to work with your LFs to get to more personalized learning so that way you can improve your grades there. And then we end the day on Fridays with some design thinking for grades 9 through 12 or 9 through 11, and then 12th grade will be college prep. And that's a great time to get some projects done.
Okay, and then as you move into 10th and 11th grades, you'll have opportunities to take college courses during your E-Block. And all of us participate in design thinking. We will start the year right out the gate with a short 6-week DT project on voting awareness. And so that will be a project that the kiddos will do. And after that, they get into their long-term DT projects for the 9th graders. They are focused on the 17 UN Sustainable Goals, and they'll pick which one of those goals they want to work under for their design thinking project. So that's the long-term one, and that starts in mid-October. But we start right away with design thinking the first week of school, and that is on the importance of voting and voter awareness. Okay, and then our seniors have a year-long DT project. It's their capstone, and at every grade level, we compete locally and nationally in design thinking. That is our core. And then Saturdays, we have Saturday Academy. You see that here. Saturday Academy starts on September 21st. We also have tutoring every day. So anybody who needs tutoring should come. Well, we're not coming to school right now, but you're gonna drop in that link to get that personal attention after school as well. Anything else, team? All right. Learning options. Okay, since we are in the land of COVID, as I told the kids today, not to despair. It just means that it's an opportunity. It's should be an inspiration to innovate. And so for us right now, we have 2 options. Well, we have one starting the school year, but the second one will be coming in shortly. And that is we'll all start the year online, but we are thinking on September 21st we'll be inviting kiddos back to school. We sent out a survey. If you didn't get that survey, we will send it out again this evening. Actually, we can put the survey in the chat too. Ms. Strenning, do you have the link to the survey? If not, I can get that and we'll drop it in the chat.
I will post it right now. And all of these are links on there. So when we share the presentation, they'll have it on there too.
Excellent. Thank you so much. So starting, we believe, September 21st, kiddos will be invited back to campus, but we can only take 120. And it'll be the same 120 every day. If we seem to have lots of kids who want to come back to campus, we can switch out every month or every progress reporting period, so that other kiddos have an opportunity to be on campus while we're still in this COVID world where we have to spread out more, okay? Then our professional attire for all of our kiddos, whether you're face-to-face or in the online world, is that we have to be in our professional top every day. That is because we don't want kids rolling out of bed in pajamas onto their computers. We want them to be ready to learn. So that means we want them to get up, brush your teeth, get your hair ready, put your shirt on, at least, even if you have your pajama pants, you have your E3 shirt, right? And you're ready to go. And then once we come back to campus, then we are wearing our professional attire. Mr. Bowden, you want to talk a little bit about that?
Yes, we're going to talk about attire a little bit more later.
Okay, perfect.
But this is just to give you the heads up that online, we want people wearing E3 tops with a tie. But given that people haven't been able to pick up items yet because we want to limit the amount of visits people make to the school, we're going to have a Spirit Week to kick off the school year.
Thank you. You want to share a little bit about the Spirit Week?
Yeah, so it is going to be based around civic duty. We have a slide for that later as well.
Oh, okay, excellent. Okay, calendar and important updates. I guess I'll do this. And on the website, you'll find a full calendar, lots and lots of activities. The first day of school is this coming Monday. That is 1 week from today. So kiddos, start going to bed early now. Okay, so pull off of 1 of midnight and let's bring it back down to at least 11 or 10 o'clock. 10 o'clock is preferred, but 11 o'clock the latest, please. So the vampires, we have to give up being vampires now, okay? So school begins next Monday, 8:30 a.m. The end of the first reporting period is October 2nd. You see that there. And our student-led conferences, when we have an opportunity for our scholars to share with you, their parents, how they're doing, and explain a little bit about why that is the progress they're making and what their next steps are. Right? So we look at what we're doing, why we're doing that, and what are our next steps. And those are the student-led conferences. You'll be getting more information about that in October or so. We'll start to send out information to sign up for the fall student-led conferences. Okay. Upcoming 9th grade parent meetings, Ms. Strenning?
Yeah, so we do, your counselors, Ms. Cologne and I, we love meeting with our parents just to relay information, because really the preparation for college and life after high school does start right now. So right now you are at our first parent meeting, our 9th grade orientation, and then we will have a series of parent institutes. Every year you're here, you're gonna meet with us just to learn a little bit more about the college process, because it is a lot of information. So our kickoff 9th grade parent institute is November 5th at 5 p.m. We're going to go over the 9th grade timeline, what to start doing now to prepare, a little bit about college. So it's a great time for us to meet. And if you're not able to make it, we always will send those presentations out And you can always, always, always set up a meeting with your counselor to discuss courses, college, careers, or anything you need assistance with. We are definitely here to help. And then in the spring, we do usually host a community college workshop. I know you're 4 years off of college, but it's a great time to meet some of those representatives. They have presentations. They can talk to you a little bit more about all their resources and programs. So we invite the whole school to that. And that's Saturday, April 24th from 9 to 12.
Right. And college is not that far off, just so you know. It'll be here in a minute.
It will.
So we start preparing for college and workforce in the 9th grade. So that every year we get a little bit of what we need so that when we become seniors or the end of our junior year, we are not overwhelmed with the process in any way, shape, or form. And we are lucky to have two outstanding counselors who really work with our kiddos. You heard Ms. Strenning mention that for the seniors, they have a period, a mod on Fridays dedicated to college prep. And so we work with all of our kiddos to ensure that they apply to at least 2 four-year universities, that they complete the FAFSA, that is the financial aid application, and that they apply to a number of scholarships. And I think there are about 10 scholarships minimum that kiddos have to apply to. And again, college is not the end. We're trying to get to the place that comes after college. And that is the goal. So where do we want to end up? And then what is the best way for us to get there? And so our counselors also work with you on the best match. What is it you want to do? And how do you get there? So it might not be, Harvard or UCLA, because that might not be the best match. And so we want to make sure that you're going to the place that'll get you to the other side, to the job, the profession that you want on the other side. So with 9th graders, we start talking about careers in the 9th grade. What are the things that you're interested in? And what are the colleges that are best suited to get you to that place, right? So that conversation starts in the 9th grade in what we call the 9th grade wheel. Okay, Saturday Academy, every Saturday, kiddos starting on the 20th or the 19th, Saturday the 19th, kiddos have an opportunity to come in from 10 to 12 to get additional support in English, math, and social studies. And when we're back on campus, kiddos also just came to study on the campus on Saturday mornings. And then when we're on campus, we go from 9 to noon. And we also have our parent meetings on Saturdays for any parent who just wants to be engaged in conversations around parenting. And so we have those every week as well, starting on the 19th. Mr. Smith, you want to say a brief word about that as well? He's there somewhere.
More in-depth information, but it's more just the time to touch base with the parents and to find out what's going on with the scholars. And sometimes we have additional resources available during that time. So when we get there, we can explore that.
Okay, the parent collaborative, that's what you just started to share.
Right. Can you click over again? So basically what this process is just kind of meeting with our parents to determine how they're adjusting to this time. It's going to be an amazing time for some of the scholars because we're coming into an environment where it's completely different than what they've experienced before. A lot of escalated levels of anxiety. We want to be able to address all their needs. But sometimes for parents, we just need a place to go to talk. So when we start in, sometimes we think like this experience is going to be like Disneyland, which is a place you go for easy rides. You can get on like, Small World. It's very slow. But the next one would be like Six Flags Magic Mountain. And this is like where it gets where we are now. It could get really, really rough. And those roller coaster rides we're going to go on, they're going to be really intense. So I just want to be able to provide support for the parents and the connection that we'll make with other parents and what we'll be providing to the students. So there's a couple more at the bottom. So these are the types of styles that we'll understand when talking to the parents. We'll identify the parenting styles that we're expressing with the kids. And then that there was one more. This is the way the brain works. So we want to find out just a way to be able to identify how that brain connects, how they express it from their emotions, and then when they're expressing in their emotions, their actions. So this is just a space, safe space for parents to come in to find out how they can additionally help not only their scholars, but taking care of themselves. I'm a very big proponent on self-care. So this is just a space for us all to do that.
All right, thank you, Mr. Smith. Okay, weekly updates. Every Saturday at 12 noon, you will receive a phone call from E3 with our weekly updates. And then every Saturday at 5 p.m., you will receive an email from E3 with our weekly updates, and also attachments, things that you may, additional documents that you may need to read, or from time to time, we do have surveys there. It might be information about upcoming events and those attachments as well. So they come in the email at 5 p.m., but you get the weekly updates in a phone call at 12 every week. Okay. And then if you're not receiving those updates, they started this last week. So if you're not receiving the updates, please contact the front desk or your counselor. The number to the front desk is listed here. And the counselor's emails will also put in the chat, just in case you're missing this information, or you just want to touch base with your scholar's counselor. Okay. Professional attire, back to Dean Bowden.
Yes, professional attire. So here at E3, additionally, what would be called a uniform is professional attire here. The reason why we have this language is because we want everybody to see themselves in their future career, looking their best and feeling their best. So when people are online, the only requirement is to have the E3 top, whether that's a polo or a long sleeve shirt. Dr. Ward's highlighting it with her mouse. Thank you, Dr. Ward. Then on Tuesdays would be the same top with the tie. If people are, or when we're on campus, or if people choose to come back to campus, then it would be wearing bottoms, khaki bottoms, or a plaid skirt, along with the white top, the collared shirt, or the long sleeve shirt. And then people can choose to wear either the sweatshirt or the jacket. And then we still do have some sweaters that are for sale as well. So believe it or not, when we are on campus, it's typically very cold here. And so people like to layer up with the different layers. All of these items can be found in the professional attire store online. Next slide, please. And just to get an understanding of what people can wear and when people are at school, basically every single day, you need to be wearing appropriate bottoms, the khaki bottoms or the plaid skirt, the white polo shirt, and then the only day you need to wear the tie is on Tuesday. And then on Thursdays, we have our college shirt, military branch, or E3 club shirt day. That includes your summer bridge shirt. So an opportunity to show some spirit every Thursday. Now, everybody says, wait a second, I haven't been able to go pick up the attire I've ordered online. That's okay, because we are going to be, our first week, Dr. Ward, if you could click on the word Spirit Week.
Oh, up here. Sorry, wrong one.
Yeah. So our first week is going to be a Spirit Week, meaning you do not have to wear E3 professional attire. So on Monday, August 31st, you'll be able to dress as your favorite role model. On the September 1st, Tuesday, wear something with stars and stripes. On Wednesday, wear red, white, and blue. On Thursday, you can wear school colors, which are green, blue, and white, or for returning scholars, class shirts, class colors. And currently, incoming freshmen, we haven't determined what color shirt you will be. You will get to vote on that later. So you can order a class shirt as well. And then Friday, dress as you would in your future career. So these are some of the things that our ASB have put together for our Spirit Week to start off the school year.
Mr. Bowden, we had a quick question regarding attire. Are navy blue pants acceptable? I know we just added that, right?
We just added that. Excellent question. And that was a scholar brought that to the attention of our Student Site Council. And then that went up to our E3 board. It was approved. And so navy pants are allowed this school year. Thank you for that. That's an excellent question. All right, attendance. As you know, I'm the Dean of Scholar Support, and attendance. Why is attendance so important? Because the more you are here, the more likely you will be successful. Also, even if it's just online, people are like, why do I have to attend if it's online? All right, well, it's really important that we're able to see each other. It's really important that we have a sense of normalcy during this abnormal time. And so we want people to be present, be online, and there for each other. We want to create a strong sense of community. For our attendance policy, if people aren't arriving to school often, they're actually considered by the state of California to be chronically absent if they miss more than 10% of school. They are considered truant if they miss more than 30 minutes of instruction without an excuse 3 times during the school year. So these things, you will receive a letter, you'll receive a notification from me saying, hey, what's going on? What are the barriers that are preventing you from attending school regularly? We want to see you be successful here. How can we help to make sure that happens? If you are planning on doing traveling or some reason not going to be able to attend school either virtually or physically, you can sign up for an independent study contract. And what that does is it means that you will get your assignments via digital document, and it will give you 5 additional days to turn those assignments in. So it's kind of, if your learning is going to be interrupted for whatever reason, whether it be travel, something going on with the family, you can sign up for an independent study contract, get your assignments, have a little extra time to turn those in. And then to do that, you'll want to sign up with our attendance clerk, Miss Rivas, and you can reach her at our school's phone number.
And Dean Bowden, at the beginning of the year, we're going to send out the independent study contract, correct, to everyone?
That is correct. Everybody will receive a universal form for independent study contract, so we'll have that on file. So if you want to activate that for a period of time, it's just a matter of contacting the attendance clerk saying, hey, we're going to utilize the independent study contract for these 5 days. And then that will be activated and you'll be able to receive those assignments digitally.
Dean Bowden, we also had one more question about attire. I'm wondering if khaki pants can be dress pant material, or would stretch jeans in that color be okay?
So we're encouraging everybody to wear, it doesn't have to be the fancy dress pants, but like a nice cotton khaki pant is preferable. Does that answer your question? I guess that is Ms. Meyer.
But the stretchy jeans are not part of our attire, correct?
Correct. Stretchy jeans are not part of our attire.
Any other questions?
I believe that's our last question in the chat that I see for now.
Okay, Zoom norms. Dean Bowden.
Yes, so we are operating in a digital world, so we're establishing some norms so we know how to operate respectfully together. So first and foremost, we're asking everybody to be present, meaning using active listening skills, asking questions, engaging with your learning facilitator. And that enables you to make make connections with other people as well. We'll ask all of our scholars while they're in class to be visible. And I'll get to that in just a moment. Of course, every interaction we have, we want to be respectful of each other. And what that looks like when we're engaging during a discussion in class is to share the air. We want you to speak up and speak out, but also allow others to do the same. Now, I mentioned being visible. Why is that so important? It is difficult and challenging if we're all just communicating with a computer screen. So we're trying to humanize the classroom experience. We are trying to make sure that we have a sense of normalcy, a way of connecting with each other. We don't want that lost during this time with COVID-19. While you're at home, make sure you can designate a space. Maybe it's just a corner in a room with a blank background. Ideally, it's a little bit quiet so you have less distractions. I understand everybody is at home right now, so there is likely a lot of distractions going on, but if you can designate an area so that you have an ability to focus more on the classroom, it'll be not just good for you, but your classmates as well. And lastly, the most important thing to do, and Dr. Ward alluded to this before, establish a good, healthy routine, going to bed on time, waking up, maybe waking up and taking a shower, waking up, taking a shower, having breakfast. And then you settle down, you get set, maybe you check emails, and then you engage in class. Routine is so key. Without that routine, we're gonna all turn into vampires or zombies, where we're going to bed way too late in the evening, and we're not feeling our best, and our mental health will start to decrease as well. So we really want everybody to establish a healthy routine.
Okay, thank you, Dean Bowden. Let me just say we're also going to be providing our kiddos with noise canceling headphones and mics. So those will be coming, I learned today, the third week of September. And then as Mr. Bowden spoke about being visible on camera, and that's a true mental health issue that if we are looking at boxes all day, that is just not good for our mental health. So we want to see each other. We want to see all of our scholars' beautiful faces. And also, I have one more point there. We're not just going to be online or in Zooms straight through the day. There will be different times of the day when we are coming off of Zoom. You might check in with your LF, you have a short lesson or a presentation from scholars, and then you might go off into a breakout room with your team, or you might go off camera altogether to do some research, and then come back on camera at the end of the mod to check in. And there are also times when the teams are working and one team is working with the learning facilitator, or one or two kiddos are working with the learning facilitator while others are working in either breakout rooms or off camera doing some of their research or other work. So we have time on Zoom and time off of Zoom within each of our mods. Okay, Mr. Russell, the Parent Portal and PowerSchool.
Hi, everyone. So our student information system, PowerSchool, has a really great parent portal, so you can keep track of your scholars' attendance, their grades, their assignments, see who their LFs are. So we'll be sending home information in the coming weeks with steps and a username and password so you can create your PowerSchool parent portal account. We'll probably send it via email and maybe mail it just to make sure it gets to everyone. And, oh, sorry, go back one more slide. Sorry, Dr. Ward. They actually have a great Android and iOS app that you can download on your phone, and you can get push notifications if your scholar is tardy or absent, or if an assignment is marked as late or graded. So it's a really great way to keep up with your scholar's presence in school.
I just got one really good question for people that are not very familiar with E3. What is an LF?
I'll let Dr. Ward take that one.
So in most schools, we have teachers, and teachers are really individuals who give knowledge, right? And we want to distinguish ourselves as not givers of knowledge, but rather individuals who facilitate the learning experience, which means that we give more voice, more choice. We step to the side. We don't have to be the ones doing all of the teaching. We want to share that experience with our scholars so that they are leading as much as possible, and we are facilitating their experience. Next slide.
Next slide, please.
And I'm looking up because I have two screens, and my larger screen is where all of my faces are. So that's why I'm looking up. It's a little strange. I know. Okay, Parent Square.
Another really great system that we have this year, this is actually going to be our first year with it, is Parent Square. This is going to be our mass notification and communication platform. It has a lot of really great features, has a really great mobile app for iOS and Android phones. This will let you have two-way communication with your scholars' LFs or staff members at the school, with automatic translation between languages, so it reduces the language barrier. Notifications for attendance if your scholar is absent or late. And it really acts to be as kind of the hub or the social network for your scholar and E3. So it'll have calendars, resources, and we will be sending, just like PowerSchool, the parent portal, we'll send information home on how to access it, and you'll get an email with like an invite to join.
And before we get to the back to school shopping list, I did want to double back to attendance for just a moment. On March 13th, most schools closed their brick and mortar buildings. E3 also did, but on March 16th, unlike just about any other school here, E3 was one of the few in the nation to open their doors again. And we opened virtually with synchronous instruction. And so our kids never missed a day of instruction in the 2019-2020 school year. We learned a lot from our experience in synchronous instruction, but we also immediately made attendance key to everything that we did. That will continue to be the situation here. So when our scholars were absent, we called home to find out, was it a connectivity issue? Was it a trauma issue? Was it a job issue? If it was a connectivity issue, we had and have an individual who just works on connectivity, making sure that all of our scholars have the Wi-Fi to connect to school each and every day. If it was a trauma issue, we connected the family with Mr. Smith. And if it is a trauma issue, we will continue to connect you with Mr. Smith. In the age of COVID, all sorts of things happen. And so trauma happens and we connect you with Mr. Smith. If it was a job situation, we scoured San Diego for different types of jobs, and we put that on our website as well. If it was a food scarcity issue, we assisted with that. And we continue to assist with food scarcity. If that is a situation that you are concerned about, please contact Mr. Smith. And Ms. Strenning, would you add Mr. Smith's email to the chat, please?
Yes, of course. It's at the end of the slides as well.
Okay, thank you so much. And Mr. Smith works with one of our donors, the Joe Fisher Foundation, to ensure that we can provide that service to families in need. So attendance is our way to stay connected to families and to make sure that we do what we can at E3 to keep our scholars learning by meeting, addressing whatever other needs a family may have. And we understand that those needs need to be met in order for kids to be successful in school and in their education. Okay, the back to school shopping list.
I do have one question for Mr. Russell before you move on.
Yes.
Between the Parent Portal and Parent Square, which one is most ideal or recommended to have?
I would say they're both equally important. They both serve a little bit of a different purpose. The PowerSchool Parent Portal is going to be more focused on grades and attendance and assignments. So you can see kind of how your scholar is doing in class and drill down to very specific assignments if you wish to. The Parent Square is going to be more of communicating with your scholars' LFs, their teachers, staff members, in a really easy way to go have two-way conversations, or if the LF starts a conversation with the scholar and you in the same kind of group conversation. Parent Square is more of kind of the social network where LFs can post quick things going on in class, request signups, send messages home. So they both kind of serve different purposes. And I would say they're equally important because it's really important to know what's going on in the classes from the LF, and also, see what your scholar's doing in the grades.
Thank you.
And we'll throw a monkey wrench in there because we also use Google Classroom. All of your scholars' assignments are posted in Google Classroom, and they submit their assignments via Google Classroom. So oftentimes you'll receive a Google summary, a daily summary, and that comes through their Google Classroom, summarizing either something that's for reminding you and our scholars of something that's due, or a summary of something that has occurred. And that is a natural part of what we call the Google Suite. And we do use the Google applications, the Google Classroom. That's where we manage the learning, is on the Google Classroom.
Thank you, Dr. Ward. That's a really good point. We automatically add your email address that you give us to your scholar in Google Classroom. So you should, around the first week of school, receive an email saying, do you wish to receive Google Classroom summaries for your scholars?
Mm-hmm. Thank you. And so if you don't get them, remember to send a request for the summaries, okay? Okay, back to school list. What do you need for the school year? So of course we need our professional top. We need our laptops. We are going to be getting the laptop cases. Mr. Russell, you want to speak a little bit about the cases?
Yeah, we've been working really hard to source some really nice laptop cases that'll help protect the laptop if it happens to fall down. They're on order. We've had them on order for a while. It's a little hard to source some of those accessories right now, but we should have them within the next few weeks, I hope. And we'll work out a distribution schedule when we get them. But that's something we're going to provide to you and to put on the laptop.
So you may be making a few trips to the campus to pick up resources, things like that. Once our kiddos are back on campus, they will need to have water bottles because we will not be able to use the drinking fountains for quite some time, not because they are not working well, but because of state and local health regulations around drinking fountains, okay? So they'll need to have water bottles. Notebooks, pens, pencils, highlighters, and planners. We're gonna be providing some of that, but if you would like to get additional notebooks, pens and pencils, feel free. You won't need a lot of pens and pencils because we are a techie school and we do a lot of our work on the computer. Even our reading, our highlighting, annotating, we do a lot of that right off of our computer. But we do encourage kids, we strongly encourage kids to pick up hard copy books as well for reading, right? And so that's another opportunity. We are in the library, and so we'll have opportunities even when the library is closed for us to check out library books. Again, we will be providing a bag of materials and resources in the next couple of weeks to all of our scholars to come in and get the things that you'll need for your science class and your other classes as well. Your DT class, so you can work on your projects from home. Any questions? All right, the website. You want to take that, Ms. Strenning or Mr. Russell? Ms. Strenning?
Sorry, I had to unmute myself. The website's a great resource. It's just got a big facelift and there's tons of stuff on there. If you want to click on there, we just wanted to make sure that you knew where to go, where to find things. Our school calendar is always updated on there. If you go down to upcoming events, so you kind of know what's going on. All of the presentations that we ever give you will be posted on this on the website. There's a lot of college and career information. The school store is on here. So you can purchase some of the professional attire. You can find the staff emails. There's just a lot of information. And if you're wondering anything, you always come to the website to try to find out exactly where to go.
I'll schedule and staff directory here, right? Any
Yeah.
upcoming news and announcements and specific things about reopening are here as well. You want to know about some of our past scholars, that information is here as well.
And this is also where you can, under that alumni part, you can request your transcript. And that will go to Ms. Carter, our registrar, and she'll be able to send over your official transcript to wherever you may need it, if it's a scholarship or a job or anything like that.
And I'll just touch on the community engagement. This last year, because our seniors were not able to complete their internship, we forged partnerships with different tech companies in Northern California. So we had guest speakers from all of the companies that you see on the screen, from Canary, Twitter, Sempra Energy. Sempra, of course, is right down the street. So they're one of our partners. Bright Horizons, Fitbit, Snap Inc., which is the Snapchat company, Apple, Reddit, WeWork, and DoorDash. Those were some of our guest speakers. Individuals from those companies were some of our guest speakers the latter part of the last school year. Okay, are you ready to go on?
Yes, we can move on.
Okay, academics, 9th grade overview. All right, take it away, Ms. Brennan.
Yeah, so we just wanted to make sure you have our graduation requirements. They are posted on the website, and this link, it's linked right to go to our graduation requirements. We are aligned, if not over aligned, with the A through G recommendations that University of California and California State Universities use to make sure that our high school students are qualified to actually apply to their school when they're a senior. So you can take a look at, if you look at the green column, that is E3 graduation requirements, and then the pink is A through G requirements. A couple things to note, I'll definitely let you take a look at this, and you can always go through this with your counselor, but all required courses must be passed with a C or higher. If your scholar receives a D or an F or an NG in a required course, they will have to take that course over either in summer school, on online credit recovery, or in the class the next year. So it's very, very important to know. We do require specific classes. For example, Math 1 is algebra, Math 2 is geometry. Those two classes are both required. And then you can take a third, such as Math 3 or financial literacy. And then also, for your scholars, we are requiring that they complete and pass a computer science class. So that's like exploring computer science, introduction to programming in Java. And that is super important right now because, as you can see, the internet and computers are really driving what we have to do. So they have a lot of opportunity to really make a statement in this growing field. And then some other graduation requirements. Mostly you're looking at these once you're 11th or 12th grader. We do require all of our scholars, usually in the 11th grade, to complete an SAT or an ACT exam. We want them to have the opportunity to take that important test and to be able to be qualified to apply to different colleges if they require it. During the senior year, we require that our seniors, all of our seniors, participate in the senior presentation of learning. You'll hear about that. We usually call them POLs, and this is like one of my favorite days of the year. I know a lot of staff as well. And so at the end of the year, right before graduation, the seniors really get an opportunity to talk to all of the students. There's small groups, everybody in the school is involved, and they really talk about their journey through school, through life. What obstacles have they faced? What are the coolest presentations and projects that they've done? And what are their plans? So it gives them an opportunity to present to all of us to see how they grew in the last 4 years and what they're planning on doing. So that's really cool, and it's definitely a requirement for all of our school scholars at E3. And then some other senior requirements are completion of the senior workforce development course. So that's basically our internship. We want all of our seniors to get out there and really experience what the workforce has to offer. If they're really interested in becoming a doctor one day and we get them an internship at a hospital, and then they see blood and maybe faint, or they don't really like it, or queasy, maybe they want to rethink it. So it's an opportunity for them to really try out exactly what they're looking to do. And our seniors do leave campus 2 to 3 days a week to attend their internship. And then the next thing, like Dr. Ward was talking about, is our senior design thinking course. Your scholars will be going through design thinking 9th, 10th, and 11th grade, and 12th is really the capstone. They're really going to get a handle on this design thinking. And we actually have some scholars, some seniors last year that maybe Dr. Ward can talk a little bit more about it, that won events, and people are actually giving them money to create their prototype that they've designed. So it's a really cool class for scholars to be involved in. And colleges, our alumni are coming back and saying that they are using design thinking in college, and nobody knows how to do it, but our scholars did, because we gave them that opportunity to do that in high school. And then a few more things. We definitely want all of our seniors to apply for financial aid. Either that's the FAFSA or the DREAM Act. We want all of our seniors to apply for at least one 4-year college application. One, because we want them to go through that process, and two, to see that they actually can attend wherever they want to go, a 4-year college, they can get there. And then, like Dr. Ward said, that we will be helping them with scholarships, and it is the expectation that they are applying to at least one scholarship. So all of those graduation requirements, it's really short little time that I was able to explain it, but if you need more explanation or want to sit down with your counselor, please feel free to make an appointment. Oh, I had a great question. What is A through G? So that is California universities, the state of California. So University of California and California State University came up with a set of requirements that they are expecting anybody that wants to apply to their colleges to have. So that's specific, like 3 years in math. They want 2 years in social sciences. They want 3 years in science, and all of these classes you have to earn a C or higher. So it's basically expectations from the college, and you want to make sure that you're taking these A through G courses to make sure that you're eligible to apply to those colleges. And we are going to be going through that a lot more in your grade level, your parent institute meetings, to kind of break that down and help you with that process. And then, like I said before, we are working on your 9th grade schedules. You should be getting those by the end of the week, but this is basically what kind of schedule, like a schedule that maybe you might have. All of our 9th graders are in English, pre-AP English 1-2. And then you might have pre-AP World History, an English support class, an SEI class, just to kind of help support you in that English. Everybody's going to have a math, and that is basically specific to your level. If you took Math 1 in middle school, you're going to have Math 2. During your placement tests, we got your scores and we're placing you in specific classes. So you might have Math 1 readiness to give you some skills. You might have Math 1, and then if you took math in middle school, you might go to a different level. Most of you are going to have physical education. Everybody's going to have biology, and then we have a micro courses class, which is really cool. You're going to be in different groups, and you're actually going to go, it's like a wheel. So every time the wheel moves, you might have career exploration. Dr. Ward, can you help me with some of the other?
So career exploration, cultural awareness, where we learn about different cultures around the world, different jobs and things around the world. There's a drama part of the wheel. There's another part of the wheel dedicated to civic leadership and engagement. All high schoolers are required by law, unless parents opt out, to take a set of courses on sex ed. So that's in our 9th grade wheel. All 9th graders start in learning how to learn, because of course, it's important for us to know how to learn. So that's the first part of the wheel where every 9th grader is learning how to learn.
Thank you. I couldn't think of them all. And then everybody will have a foreign language, either Spanish or Mandarin, and then an E-Block elective. If you have not sent your scholars middle school grades or transcripts to us, please, please, please make sure that you do that. You can send them to me. I'll put my email again. You can send them to Ms. Cologne, or you can just send them to admissions and they will get to us. Because if you did take a math or a world language in middle school, it's very important for us to see that. So that way we're not putting you in the same class to repeat it. So please, please, please send those over to us. Schedule changes. So once you get your schedule, there is a process to request a schedule change. You will have the first reporting period to request a schedule change. You will receive this schedule change request form. You simply just fill it out, let us know what you'd like to switch, and then we will see what we can do. Your counselor will contact you via Google Chat, email, or even call you, jump into your class to see what we can do to change your schedule. Please be aware that we cannot fulfill every single change request, but we will do our best, and we want to make sure that you are getting your graduation requirements. That is the most important part of your schedule, to make sure that you're taking the courses you need to graduate. Friday, October 2nd is the last day to change a course. After this date, you will receive a W on your transcript, and that just means withdrawal, okay? And if you have any questions, you can always contact your counselor. And now, high school transition. We've gone over this a few times, but you are moving on from 8th grade to 9th grade. There's a big difference. There's usually more classes, which means more learning facilitators, more staff that you're working with. There's more homework and more studying. So there's just a lot more of that. So use a calendar, stay organized. Don't forget to turn in your homework. And remember that your grades count towards your GPA. So you are beginning your high school GPA, which your GPA is your grade point average, and that counts towards college admissions and scholarships in your future. So whatever you're doing now in this year will make an impact come senior year. So just make sure you're remembering that, and that testing counts towards college admissions. So when we're doing some testing prep on Khan Academy to prepare for the PSAT or the SAT, take that seriously. Use those resources so that way you are setting yourself up to keep all those doors open for your future. And like I said before, if you do earn a D or an F in a course, that is okay. You just have to retake it, because we know you can do better. So we want to give you the opportunity to do better. So make sure you're trying to work hard in the beginning, so that way you don't get that D or an F, but if not, then you will have to retake it. And then there's also more activities to balance. There's clubs, internships, work in a couple years. But we also want you to know that we're here to support you. So if you need anything, if you're starting to feel overwhelmed, if you just want to figure out how to organize yourself, just reach out to your counselor. Me and Ms. Cologne are definitely here to help. And then some just quick keys to school success. Organization. Use a planner to manage your time. You have a lot of stuff to do, so make sure you're writing all that down, when things are due, when you have a test, and write a list of to-dos every day. I don't know what I would do without my list of to-dos, so that way I can scratch things off when I get them done and then move on to the next thing. And study skills. Like we said, there are a lot of classes. If you need help or have a question, just ask one of us. If we don't know the answer, I'm going to point you to the person that might know that answer. So don't be afraid to ask, because we don't know what you don't know. We definitely want to make sure that you get whatever you need. Set aside time after school for homework and studying. That could be 3 to 4 hours a night, just to sit down, do some homework, do some reading, do some studying, because it will pay off. If you do all this, those grades will follow. And then utilize tutoring and resources offered. Dr. Ward mentioned that we do have tutoring every day. If you're feeling a little lost or have some questions, go to tutoring. That will definitely help you. Ms. Dean Bowden talked about attendance. It's easy, just show up on time, ready to learn, and then get your the good grades. If you put in the work, the grades will follow, because they do matter. And we are all here to support you to become your best self and to achieve all your goals.
Okay, these are your ninth grade learning facilitators. Hopefully, I can get this. Okay. Let's see. What happened?
You click in the middle, it's a video.
I may have to, let's see here. Clicking in the middle, there's nothing happening. Let's go on to the next one. Okay, hold on 1 second. Sorry about that. Here we go.
Hi, I'm Mr. Z, and I teach Integrated Math 1 and 9th grade design thinking.
Hi there, I am Mr. Newman. I am the 9th grade biology learning facilitator. I also teach an agriculture e-block. Welcome.
Hello, I'm Coach Cuppy, and I'll be helping you get your body and mind in shape through physical education.
Hi everybody, I'm Mr. Reese. I teach Integrated Math 1, Integrated Math 2, and 9th grade DT, and I'm looking forward to working with you all.
Hello everyone, I'm Miss Knight and I teach Freshman English 9 pre-AP. I also am the yearbook staff coordinator. Welcome.
Hi everyone, I'm Mr. Henry. I'm the education specialist and IEP case manager for the 9th grade, and I'm looking forward to working with all of you.
Hello everyone, I'm Miss Gregory. I am the 9th grade Math 1 readiness coordinator. I also have a 9th grade advisory, and I am the rowing coach. I'm really excited to start the year with you.
Hola a todos, bienvenidos. Soy el señor Vargas, soy maestro de español y será un gusto poder conocerlos este año.
Hey, 9th graders, welcome to E3. My name is Mr. G. I'll be supporting you guys in your classes, math, English, science, and also Spanish. Welcome to the E3 family.
Hi everyone, my name is Ms. Montijo. This is my first year at E3. I'll be supporting students in special education across the grade levels and leading a 9th grade advisory.
Hello everyone, I am Mr. Bowden. I am the Dean of Scholar Supports, here to make sure that you are supported. Welcome to E3.
All right.
Welcome to
Welcome
E3.
Welcome to E3. Welcome to E3.
All right. Okay. Our think tank on school reopening, we've had 2 think tanks. We want to hear from you about your thoughts on school reopening. We will share what the state and the county officials are requiring us to do. But we also want to hear from you. What are some of your thoughts? What are some of the things that we might be missing on safely reopening schools and in reopening the campus? And that's not about starting school on August 31st. It's about actually reopening the campus to receive our scholars back in the building. So that meeting is going to be this Thursday at 2 p.m. If you can make it, the registration link is here. We'll also put it in the chat, and you'll have this presentation going out either tonight or tomorrow morning to all of our families as well. Okay, any questions? All right, we did go a little long this evening. We thank you so very much for your patience, for your time, for entrusting your very precious, your most precious gift, your child, to us at E3. So thank you so very much, and have a wonderful evening.